Happy anniversary, my love. Our 1 year anniversary after probably the fucking worst day of being a parent. The kids were being horrible today. Awful.
Yeah. And we still have a lot of day left.
And we still have a lot of day left. That's right. I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee. And there's 2 shots of espresso in each coffee that I drank. But hey, that's just part of it sometimes, you know. A lot of people never have these moments with their kids because they have, you know, nannies handle it or the school handles it or whatever. But
in these moments, it crosses my mind is to send them to school, honestly.
really? Oh, that's so mean.
Being honest, I mean, in the hard moments, it's like...
Remove my kids from me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get it, for sure.
Yeah.
I get it for sure, but think about how rare days like these are. Like, for real. We've had such a dreamy time with the kids, and like, look, sometimes the kids are just in a funky day, and when they're in a funky day, they need a whole lot of space.
Well, and we must be tired too, considering the coffee situation.
But look how well this all worked out, you know? Like, now Wiley's napping, Reiner's taking personal space, like, however it worked out. Now we get this.
Parted.
Now we get the opportunity to sit here and play happy anniversary with each other.
Play happy.
Yeah. Here, Dad. Cheers to a successful year of marriage.
To another.
Mhm. So this is our little special ritual.
1 official year, but fuck, we've been together almost 6.
Yeah, but we were weird about committing to each other. Like, don't forget, we only got married after trying out an open marriage and being like, ooh, that's not what we want. That's definitely not what we want. So, you know, I think that we had a little bit of commitment issues, but we just didn't really know that we had some commitment issues. Like, I personally just felt like every man was going to let me down. And so why it would be easier to not be let down if I didn't get my hopes up or if I didn't make any commitments. But we accomplished so much in this last year, and that's what I wanted to celebrate. You know, like when it's Wiley's birthday or Reiner's birthday, we talk about how when they were, I'm gonna get emotional, how like when they were born and stuff, but we don't ever really celebrate how when we were born as a couple.
I like how that transformed into...
I walk a long block, but I always find my way back to your heart.
It's over here.
So let's talk about the first time we met each other. You remember?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, tell me about the first time you met me.
First time I met her. Well, I actually saw her. I remember this later on. I saw her at a coffee shop I loved to frequent when I was in a... I didn't want to talk to anybody. I went there to not talk to anybody, sit in the corner and drink my coffee and just sort of judge everybody. I felt like I was a wild man at the time, riding horses and shit through the city, and I was as wild as I could be at the time. And I saw you there, and I saw wild tattooed on the side of her neck, and I was like, she's wearing a leather jacket. I was like, yeah, right. And
Was I wearing a leather jacket? I remember it being almost the hottest day of the year in Austin.
you look like a city slicker. And I thought I was like a country, like doing a country thing. So I was judging, and I was like, no, she's not wild. And
But did you think I was pretty?
yeah, I thought you were pretty, but I wasn't talking to anybody. I was like lurking in the shadows.
That
But I
should
noticed
be-
her. But I was like, no.
And I didn't notice him at all because I was very preoccupied with my ex at that time, and I was having a really hard time. I just like dated so many guys that were like fucking broke and annoying and like addicted to things. 1 second, please. I'll be there in a second. That when I met. Yeah, but it's Daddy's and my birthday. It's our anniversary.
5 minutes into our
This is our anniversary here. Look at this. You see this special Yamaya cake? You see it? You see this candle on it? It's because Daddy and Mommy got married on this day last year. It's a very special day for Mommy and Daddy. Mommy and Daddy love to be together, so
And
we're celebrating.
Is it also the longest day?
Sure felt like it.
Summer solstice?
Sure felt like it. Yeah.
Special day for the land.
We should coin a new term, flirting, where you're flirting and lurking at the same time.
Lurking.
You're there to look
What's up?
beautiful. What's up, chicken butt?
I was flirting for sure.
But I was really, they say miracles that are deflected by us are held in time until we're ready to receive them. I was with my mom and my younger sister's best friend.
Who I actually knew from my party days.
Mhm.
Her and her sister, but I didn't recognize her at all.
Yeah, and if you hadn't been so insistent on judging, I would have been able to meet you right then, but
Got off the good
it wasn't the right time.
But I didn't put it together. I didn't remember that moment until not too long of us knowing each other, having met. I was like, oh, I saw you once before.
Well, what do you think? Am I wild?
Yeah.
What do you think is the wildest that you've ever seen me? Was it when I was
pushing
calling?
out both kids?
Yeah,
That's
definitely
good.
not when I was calling security last night to remove a snake.
No. Tiny boa.
Now I kind of like the snake, though I didn't know that it was a boa constrictor. I'm not really a snake dog. The first time that I met you, anybody that was following me on Instagram would know because I put it on my stories. I saw this. Wait, I'm talking about my and Daddy's birthday. This has to be my special day.
No, it has to be mine.
You already had your special day this year.
It's gonna be my special day again.
All right.
And my special day takes a year to get to. And a year's the most.
Yeah, a year is the most.
You should choose the birthday that was on every day.
If you chose a birthday every day, you'd be 365 years old in just 1 year. You would be an old, gray ball, wrinkly ball sack, saggy skin, smelling funny, old man in just 1 year, which is kind of how I feel after hanging out with you for one morning today. Because you were being a grundle. All right, but I saw this beautiful man walking down towards the water, like so slowly, like the slowest of slow motions that you could imagine, just like floating down to the water, dipping his toe in. Someone yells out, "Magic!" He turns around like this. And I know because I had this and I have this on film. I was like, this guy's a daddy. Yowza. But he was doing like, I was working out really hard at the time. But don't worry about me. I was working out really hard at the time and swimming laps and all this stuff. And he like got in the water. And it's funny because now you say that I was like, what is this guy doing? What are these like weird little kicks that he's doing in the water? I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really funny. And then you got
spinning in circles and kicking.
I thought you were doing like water ballet. I thought you were doing like twirl dancing.
Just trying to enhance my spinning ability. But I came there to rest. She came there for the opposite reason. I came there to rest. The only reason I went down in the water is because this goon of a man was thumping his way up the hill, being so fucking loud. And I was like, just to get away from his nonsense, I went down to the water and I saw her sitting there. And I was pretty discouraged with my dating situation in the past.
Flip it off! Flip it off!
Honestly, if I was dating who you were dating, I'd be discouraged too.
Thanks. And I had just prayed to the south, in the direction of the south, for my soulmate.
And you know what's so crazy about that is that the whole time, like after my fiance died, I was just so upset because I had been in love with him for so long, but I was also really lonely and really wanted partnership. And he told me, like, there's only one person in the whole world that can love you the way that I wanted to and the way that you deserve. Now, do you want to do you want to wait for that one person in the whole world, or do you want to jump the gun and be with some loser? And I was like, all right, I'll wait. But my fiance's last name was South, Brian South.
And I had just made that prayer not too long, so I was like, thought it was happening a little too quick. Well, I didn't think it was happening too quick. I was like, no. I just told myself, like, no, just avoid. And when we did the water thing, got out of the water, and just so happens that she was sitting right there on the hill.
And I said to him, is that it? Is that it? And if you always know, like, if the erotic is dead in a relationship, if like something that you thought was really cute about someone is driving you crazy about them later on in life, it's always a sign that you need to recharge the erotic. If it's something that, like, because people always show who they are on like that first interaction, and a lot of times you're like, oh, like, he's just different. It's like, no, they're exactly the fucking same. You've changed, the erotic died. But he was moving so slow when we first met, and I was like totally enchanted by that. I said, I have never seen someone slow-mo like this fucking guy. Beautiful. He's so present, and you are to this day. But when we're having hard times, I'd be like, why is it taking 45 minutes to get my coffee? And then when you were having hard times with me, you'd be like, why are you breaking my balls so much? Because I did it from the fucking very first day. And it was almost all history from there. So we did a lot this last year. Where were we June 21st last year? Florida, yeah, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Hey, do you remember the beach house that we were in Florida? Do you remember the beach that was kind of like by the hotel and kind of a little bit ugly? Yeah.
Go out into the yard because there was glass. And said don't walk your dog because there's glass.
You know,
Splinter deck.
I got a lot of healing done in that house because I had to.
No stabbing, please.
Yeah, no stabbing. Because I had to remove like some pretty serious trauma.
Yeah, we
stuff before
both did our
could-
voodoo daddy thing.
Yeah, we did our voodoo daddy in New Orleans, and then we drove to Florida almost right after that. You okay, kiddo?
Let's go tell you what.
Excuse me. I cannot go inside until I'm done recording this video. Go inside right away.
Well, you're gonna have to come inside.
Why? You gotta go.
You've been out here for an hour.
You gotta go do
12
or
minutes,
something?
12 minutes and 45 seconds.
No.
It says it on the
Look at
phone.
me.
You're going out now.
Look in me in my eyes. If you are respectful to me, I will be respectful to you.
Well,
I am coming inside in 15 minutes, but if you keep interrupting me, it's going to be 30, and then 45,
And then you'll have to
60.
go to see Tortilla with me and pay him the money.
But we did, before I knew that it was going to be time for us to do a big ceremony, like a big commitment ceremony. Things were kind of like heading that way, and I was like, oh, because I was like, if it's a half moon, at the time we were doing magic on the half moon, and it ended up that the half moon was going to be on June 21st, and we were going to be on the beach. It was just like, well, let's get this done. And we had the conversation about getting married. It was going to be to get dual citizenship in Brazil, because that's where I'm born. But
we couldn't go to Brazil at the time.
But anytime the government paperwork stuff would come up, we'd just be like, literally, no.
Yeah.
And we have such a nice arrangement with the significant other, aka sign if I can't other, has worked out really well for us. The fact that we're not married allows us to, like, you know, he can buy a home and I can rent it off with him, and it's all these things that work out really nicely for us. So we didn't really want to, and like getting the government involved with anything for us is like.
And we were in Austin at the time. Family was there, and it's like, okay, well, if we tell one person, we'll tell them all. If we don't tell any.
Yeah. Next thing we're having a fucking wedding. What's next? Dresses. You know, like it was gonna be
bachelorette party.
And I'd always make my day. I had always known that I wanted, if I ever got married, that I wanted to do something really sacred. So. We got married. We did some like big healing work. Mainly, you know, I'm trying to have a new relationship when all I unconsciously see in every man is my dad and the way that I had been, and that story and how I had been let down in that way. And you can't have original relationships with men or women until you've healed like the mother and father wounds. And so we did that, and we got married and made an offering to the ocean, which was beautiful. And a year's passed since then. So let's review some of the highlights of the last year. What did we do in the last year?
Oh, we made it to upstate New York, where we had wanted to go for a very long time, and a whole journey.
Yeah.
Bicycles.
And from June 21st on, June 21st was halfway through our like third cross-country road trip, and a partial, from Texas to the East Coast. But with 2 kids, that ain't nothing, baby. So on our third leg of that, and that was actually, where did we go after Florida? We did Florida, Georgia.
No, we went to Alabama. We did, I think.
Yeah, but that was before Florida. We did Alabama, New Orleans, Georgia. It doesn't matter.
We didn't really do anything. We just made stops on the way up there. We went to Richmond again, Virginia.
Did we go to,
we went to that beach in Virginia, that Virginia Beach, or not Virginia Beach, but whatever it was.
So we moved to New York. We lived in Woodstock. We lived in Neversink. We lived in Margaretville. We started a business together after so long of talking about it.
I was forced to learn a side of things, technological side of things that I had thought were gonna like make me lose my edge or some shit, make me less outdoorsy or something. Forced to learn that by injuring my knee.
Yeah. We also seriously increased our income and seriously upgraded our quality of life, because we had been struggling. We felt like the quality of life had gone down since we had sold our home. The reality was we just had never really upped our budget for the places that we were going to stay. So we were staying in really small places for us and being like, why are we having such a bad time? And if it was just wait for me and get.
I'm not getting. You can't force me.
We had been staying for really just subpar situations.
And we almost committed to short-term renting some places that would have sucked.
Yeah.
But we kept getting the no.
And thank God we did, because even some of these Airbnbs ended up listing their places for sale, for things that would have been within our budget. And luckily that by that point we had set our budgets really on our sights a lot higher. I heard this prayer that says thank you for bringing me what I need and protecting me from what I think that I want. And I feel like that's been really true. Also, we left the U.S. That was really the final piece of erotic wealth that we were
pretty stuck on the idea of living in upstate New York, and found a beautiful, beautiful home on a beautiful piece of land, and it was out of our budget. It wasn't the right fit for us, but it was phenomenal. It was an incredible house, and felt like nothing was going to compare to that, and we were just over it. We were over the search, over the grind. So we are now in Costa Rica.
Yeah, and we're loving it, and it's changed up so much of what we thought was possible and how we wanted to do some things. And we're doing this as we're teaching erotic wealth, so as we hit that line of surrender where it's time to surrender the vision, that's exactly what happened. And I'm so grateful for that, because this is something that we were very resistant to. And most kinks where you're I absolutely don't put anything in my butt, it's actually what you crave. And we were like that regarding traveling, we just gotta stop traveling, we just gotta buy a house, we just gotta get our routine.
We need a home base.
We need to make every single day exactly the same so that we can manage the stress of having 2 children. And it turns out that we're a lot stronger than we thought we were, but also I didn't realize how we were always a little bit out of place in the States, and we blend in so much here that people were are you guys from here? Do you live here? Because it's just exactly our vibe. Minimal clothes. So, what are some words that you would use to describe what the last year has been like? Some words you'd use.
Transformative.
Transformative, yeah. I'd say also like fluid. Like we learned how to be fluid in a lot of places. I'd also say
adaptive.
Yeah, wealthy.
Yeah.
Also like instinct. We've learned a lot about, especially recently, about like what's instinctive versus trying to do things the right way or the wrong way. Like what's innate. What feels natural, not forcing anything, not holding back anything.
I feel like we're detoxing a whole lot right now.
I'd also say flow. Now there's the last little piece that I wanted to do. Yamaya always likes white flowers, and so I thought that maybe we'd write a couple wishes and things that we would like to see in this next year, and put them in a little Yamaya. The first thing that comes to mind for me is surrender. And the most beautiful part of this whole experience of this whole year has been because of surrendering what we thought we wanted. And that is something that I would really like to know more of in this upcoming year together, is like how to surrender more in a relationship, because the things that we think we want are always less usually than like what's right for us. And so that's my wish for this year, and I put it in my little ofrenda here.
My wish is to let things just roll off with me. Like feelings, emotions coming from other people. Just let it roll off with me, and not get in a mood. Not pick up someone else's mood. Not get in a mood myself. And just be level.
Cool. How would you say that? Steady?
Steady. Yeah. I mean, I realized come leaving the States that I have no chill. So I don't know how I can incorporate that.
That you have no chill?
Yeah.
That you're not a chill guy?
No, I'm not as chill as I think I am.
And that's weird, because probably in just about every social situation you're like the most chill guy. But that's a cool thing to know. So maybe you could write deeper chill. And something that I'm gonna write for mine is flow, because sometimes it's really hard to see the flow, and sometimes it's really hard to see the flow in things. So you wrap it up any way you want, make a little stem, and then find a little place that you want to put it, and then use this little poker stick to get it in there. Well, I'm just gonna open up. Beautiful! Something else that I want to write down is role models. I very much... Yes?
You're kind of sorry for me.
Oh, how romantic.
You're kind of sorry.
Okay, cool. I just have to make 2 more flowers and then I can do it.
No, you don't. You can't get out your flowers.
I know, honey, but I am making my flowers. Oh, honey, that's so romantic of you. That sounds great. Well, Daddy's about to go to the fish
You're
market.
gonna have tons of time. We're almost done, right?
So what I mean by role models is like, I feel like the last year and the last couple years just felt like so much muddling, like, whoa, trying to figure it out. But if I could make a wish for this year, it would be to really reach a level of authority, and on also a level of wealth and a level of respect, both for ourselves, coming internally, but also externally as well. Like recognition as being role models, and something that is so important to us and hardly anyone teaches. I really want, that's a wish that I make, is role models. It's something that I want to have for the year.
I want to become a lot more flexible, physically and mentally.
Not until I'm done with our birthday out here. So you better get.
I'm not gonna.
You want to make
And
a
not just
song?
flexible, but also
No.
We're making wishes.
just loose.
Don't start this.
Not like loose in my morals or anything, but loosen my beliefs that I've had in the past, loosen my expectations.
Where's the soap piece? Where's the soap
Just really letting things
Go find
come
a
to
new
me
one
and
inside.
being able to
In the drawer. Go ahead.
absorb them fully.
It's fucking
and move with them.
blue.
So I'm gonna write flexible and loose, flexibility.
I love that. Something that I'm gonna write on here is raise vision. And what I mean by raise vision is that I want to, if there's any way that I'm being held back and how I wait for me or get inside. This is our special day. We can all share it together, but you keep interrupting me. Now get.
This is
The way you're acting, you're right. It's not.
But if there's any way that I'm like seeing myself in an outdated way, or like a vision, if I'm meant to see a much bigger vision for us in our life, I want to be shown it, and I want it to be. Don't you put that lobster on my yama.
It's gonna use it to poke the.
Oh, did Rhino take our chingo?
I think so. Lobster claw.
Definitely make a wish for peace on this thing, right?
Patience. That's the chill. I don't know if my lobster claw is gonna poke him in.
You know what I'm happy about? Like, I feel like last year, so much of our wishes and stuff were like money, money, money. But I feel pretty good. Let's each do one more. This is looking very pretty. We'll put one here and one here.
Okay, my last one is going to
Make a wish for me, and I'll make a wish for you.
you.
Yeah,
Out loud.
of course.
Okay.
Mr. fucking word economy over here.
I don't know if it was a private wish. Or...
You want me to make my wish for you first?
Oh,
I wish for you that at this time next year you're so grateful for what has happened to your knee, but so satisfied with the level of training and everything that you've been able to like bring to it, and really like not just feeling like you're training well, but that you really have a relationship with it that's much improved, and like a deeper relationship with your training and all of the mentors and everything like that. So I'm gonna write your favorite quote on here. Train more, but I'm gonna put a heart on it so that you know that I mean it.
Okay, I'm gonna wish for you that you have just complete love for yourself. You don't question. It's a dog right there. Spirit animal. You don't
Not my spirit
question.
animal.
You don't question yourself. You don't question if your message is gonna be received. That you don't. That you just you love yourself and love your body, and that you're just totally at peace.
Oh, that makes me want to cry, Daddy. That's so nice. Thank you. Wish accepted. How are you gonna write that?
At peace.
I'm gonna put my wish on your side, and then you can put your wish on my side. This is really coming together nicely. This is a nice little ritual that we have this year. Happy anniversary, my love.
What is this one?
I think we'll put it on this side. What do you think? And then let's make a wish for us together. Well, this is what I think it should be, because so far so good. But the card of the lovers in the tarot, you know, the card of the lovers, it's like the Adam and Eve looking situation when they're looking up at that like Pan God.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I really love about our marriage, however it is that came about, is that it was never a commitment that was made between like you and I. It was a three-way commitment. It was like you, me, and God. And in the card of the lovers, like both of them have their eyes on the higher, you know, it's like it's like two body, you know, the attraction is there, the love is there, but there's a higher aim the whole time, and it's not even really a wish, but just honoring that and a request to just deepen that relationship even more. So I'm going to draw that by just drawing a triangle for our little love triangle. And I'm going to write erotic wealth, because I want everybody to know that something like that is possible as well. Should we light our candle and sing a song, or should we wait until we go to the beach?
Let's go to the beach. Because I feel like then we need to drift it away.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure that we don't get caught. Sometimes people get a little freaked out seeing real brujeria going on. Right. Here we go.
Be sneaky.
Wow. Looks so nice, right? Wow. With our big one right there. Daddy. I very much didn't. This is the first time I've ever been married for a year, but this is, if I could do it all over again, I definitely, I don't even know what I mean by that. I wouldn't change anything. I would not repeat this last year because we have this other one that we're starting right now, and I'm really excited about that, especially to be able to spend it with you. You are the only person in the whole world where my words just go right out the window, and I don't know what to say to you or anything. So a lot of times I make a joke or I talk some kakabasu to you, but it's just because when I'm around you, when I think about it's the only thing that ever comes to mind when I try to describe how I feel about you is this Rumi poem, and I'd say it to you every year on our anniversary, but Rumi says that I heard love songs and I started looking for you, and that's just, I feel like I was looking for you my whole entire life. I love you very much.
Love you too.
Happy anniversary, Peggy. So many more. Now we have to go to the beach every year though, because it's tradition at this point.
Sounds alright.
Happy anniversary.
We get to go to the beach.